everybody. Welcome to the Work in Progress podcast. I'm Tubbs.
I'm Dale.
I'm Rachel.
And this is the next episode, or as you know, it's the current episode. Just happened. America. So how are you guys doing?
Good. Hyped up on sugar.
Yeah, there is a large quantity of candy.
Diabetes.
This is obviously pre-recorded as you're watching it, or watching/listening to it on YouTube. But we finished the podcast and decided, let's go get some olives for a drink that one of us likes to have. And I'd had a couple beers, so we decided to go get just olives, and came back with
Just candy.
a 5-year-old's dream worth of candy.
And a broom.
And a broom. A broom happened. And we did bring the olives, though, so I mean. So yeah. On our last podcast, Rachel kind of wouldn't stop talking about the same thing, so we couldn't switch topics. That's not true. That was all of us. But I will say that we have a great podcast for you today. Thank you very much for listening.
As always.
You're very, very... You made a very good choice by listening to us.
Your life is enriched.
Before we start on these, could you have put the snacks any closer to the microphone? Moved. Waiting on Rachel. Moved. For any topics, any guys you want to talk about before we hit topics? Today's topics?
What did I... We were at Walmart, and I said I didn't like something.
People talking.
Oh, yeah, people talking on their speakerphone.
Yeah.
Out in public.
In public, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't know why it bothers me. Probably because I don't want to hear
It's
the
kind of
conversation.
rude.
Yeah.
Well, we did miss out on Rachel Hates on the last podcast.
That's
So I'm
true.
pretty sure we can, on the last episode, so I'm pretty sure we can give you 2 minutes today. But, yeah, Walmart was interesting. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into these topics, guys. The level of chewing is unreal right now, and everybody's trying to be quiet while we're doing it, so sorry about that.
Nobody wants to get hit.
But
I mean,
as a... can we name this person?
yes.
Kat at Wilted Intentions on Instagram, and probably something on Facebook that I don't know.
Wilted intentions.
Wilted Intentions. Nailed it. Speaking of nailed it, so there's a sign in our town that says "Drive hammered, get nailed," and
It's one of those big highway signs that's hanging all over the interstate.
Yeah, it's the ones that flashes, and it says "Drive hammered, get nailed." And I was trying to find a negative in that. I think they mean you get in trouble. Not what I would have read as a 17-year-old or 21-year-old legal alcohol consumer. Anyway, Wilted Intentions sent us the topic, working with new media as an artist, creator, developer. I don't know why developer came out. Maybe you take pictures and you develop them. But working with new media. How do you guys feel about working with new media?
I like it.
I enjoy it.
And that's the end of that topic.
No, for me, I think beginning to work with new media, like obviously new media being different kind of paint or clay or trying some other kind of artistic something that you're not used to doing. I think as an artist already, that's when it takes the most confidence, like self-confidence, to get into something new, to push yourself into really actually making something right off the bat.
I think it takes a level of curiosity too.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what happened. What has happened with me is that I got really curious about seeing other people working with the media, and I wondered what it was like to do that. So.
Yeah.
Were you like, if I can be like that, I would give... I don't know why I just put my head. Sorry.
This is a Nickelback free zone.
That wasn't Nickelback.
Oh, was it?
No, that was Third Eye Blind.
Same thing.
Take that back. Well, I just snorted. You were saying, Dale? Because this is what people want to listen to. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know anymore. Hear Rachel laugh for the next 45 minutes.
Yep.
Damn it.
I don't know. I would encourage everybody that likes to do art to try as many different types of things. Painting, sculpting, drawing, calligraphy, anything you can consider art, because it's always new. I know that in drawing or painting, I've inspired myself to do other things in sculpting, and vice versa, I guess. To me, it's all one kind of interconnected web.
Yeah. There's so I've been
Or interweb, if you will.
so I've been curious about sculpting, but not necessarily with clay yet. Eventually, I know I'll get curious about it and want to try it out, but I think for me right now, because my interests are in woodworking, and I do want to get into sculpting, so I'd like to try that with wood.
SV Pipe Design on Instagram and YouTube.
Huh?
SV Pipe Design.
That guy's awesome.
That guy makes the coolest tobacco pipes.
Oh yeah, like him, he was cool.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing. He's able to. What is it when you're doing this? Is that carving or whittling or
carving? Yeah.
Well, he carves in he did the Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and it's a perfect likeness of Ian McKellen. It was amazing. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Well, I do have some ideas for. I know I've told you this before, Dale, but I do have ideas for like different types of scoops that I want to. It, in a way, carve. That's going not in a way, but carve to make it look like something that you would see in nature, but still.
A scoop.
Look, I made a tree out of some wood.
That's not funny, Dale.
But you laughed.
I know. But it'd just be woodwork. Make those trees out of pallet wood.
Oh.
The Christmas trees?
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't.
Oh.
Tracy's wife did.
Oh, I thought they were on the Instagram for HSP. Maybe I read into that.
I don't know. No?
My bad. I
No,
lied.
it might have been.
I
I
might
don't
have lied.
know. Cool.
I'm a liar. That's what I do. I lie. No, I for some reason thought they were on HSP.
Oh, no, they were on there. Yeah.
Well, they were trees made out of wood.
Yeah. The
That's
pallet
why
wood.
that's funny.
They're cute.
I'll stop talking.
But yeah, I'd like to. I know I have a bunch of ideas to make them look like leaves, different types of leaves. And if they're functional, well, I know they won't be functional because they're going to be.
They won't grow.
I was like, they're not gonna.
Well, to be used as a scoop or whatever.
Yeah,
But I think
cool.
it'd be more decorative.
I'm gonna do that first so I can say you stole my idea.
A leaf-shaped scoop.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I've seen them at a silver. You know how they make like the silver dash or whatever ones? I've seen the leaf
Yeah.
ones. That could go out of wood. Like a cup. Oh, how would you measure? Oh, now I'm interested in how you make that. An hour of us talking about how that would happen.
But there's some other media that I would like to try. Like, there's some media that I learned in art school that I never really latched onto because I didn't. I think because it had to do with color, and I was like intimidated by it. So I think now that I'm a little more comfortable with it, especially through painting with oil, that I think I'd be okay with trying.
Like glass blowing?
I did glass blowing.
Did you like it?
Nope. Because you couldn't touch it.
That seems scary.
Yeah, it was. I almost.
Skin sticks to the glass and you scream and start swinging around and
I think.
it shatters and everybody gets cut and
No.
When it's that hot,
the
just
whole
go.
room catches on fire and everybody dies.
Damn. Gina.
That happens every time.
Yeah. I think the scariest moment for me in my glassblowing class was I collected some glass on a rod, and I was getting ready to sit down so I can build it up and spin it in whatever shape I wanted. But on the way to the chair, I didn't keep rotating it so that gravity on this round planet of ours.
Allegedly, we'll go home.
Yeah. But all of a sudden I look down and I see this glob of glass just starting to come off the rod down towards my shoe. And I quickly scooted my foot away, and it was close. It was close to landing on my shoe. I was like,
that would have burned right through your shoe,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
It would have. I was like, oh
yeah,
my
that's
gosh.
scary. I don't like working with hot stuff. I would love to do blacksmithing, but I know
Honestly, the only thing you really have to do in blacksmithing is remember not to try to grab stuff that falls.
Yeah.
Because it's happened twice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Both times I hurt like a motherfucker. And
I did have a glove catch on fire one time.
that's a weird thing, and that I've noticed that on like if you watch YouTube or when you watch blacksmiths, certain blacksmiths won't wear gloves.
Yeah.
Specifically because a lot of the blacksmith style gloves are like basically welder's gloves.
Yeah.
And some of the ones that wear like the really mechanic style gloves, it's really hard to find those in leather. Because they do make leather gloves, but they're usually quite a bit oversized.
Yeah.
So when you get the ones that fit that actually Velcro crows, they're nice, but they usually have a little like frilly crap on them. Not frilly, but where they cinch.
Yeah.
The tops opened up, and I've read from a bunch of them like it's not a bad idea to wear gloves, but if you're using something that like the scale that comes off of the metal, it will jump. And if that lands in there, you're not going to get your glove fast enough to stop the burn. So it's 50-50. If I'm working with something that's a big piece of metal, I usually won't wear gloves because I know that's going to happen. But if it's something tiny, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Also, if you're grabbing something, because I don't have a set of actual fucking blacksmith tongs, when you're working with something that you have to constantly grab in and out of the forge, it's nice to wear like gloves on the grabbing hand. But yeah, no, that shit hurts. And you do have to remember, do not, because there's been a couple times where it's fallen, I'm like, oh my god, ah! Yeah, it sucks. But it's fun.
I did have a piece of that. Oh god, what's it called? The scale. It's not called scale, is it? No.
Off metal?
Yeah.
There's a called scale. I don't know what you call
Scale. Anyways, I had a
Slag?
chunk of slag, whatever. I had a chunk of it fly off of the piece of metal I was working with, and I had my sleeves up. No, actually, no. I had my sleeves up. Anyways, it landed on my skin. Holy shit! And yeah, I couldn't. It took a while for me to get the slag out of my skin.
If you're not paying
I
attention,
still have a scar from it.
Twice I've done some dumb shit with metal. Well, speaking of new media, when I went to blacksmithing, it's because I did woodworking a lot, and I wanted to like the blacksmithing thing was I wanted to make my own knives that I couldn't. I think I've said that before. Like make my own knives that I thought would be really cool. I've made a shitload of them. I haven't finished a single one. So just making stuff that I don't finish because that's how I do.
You're trying.
I'm trying. But I didn't like metal for the longest time, and then I saw the benefits of having metal or having metal attached to wood, what metal looks like with wood, and I was like, oh, that does look pretty cool. And that was one of the steps I took, like, let's work with a little bit more metal. And at first I started just not refinishing really, but repairing, like, older tools that I had. And that's when I was like, I should make a knife. And I went to that, getting back to the burning the shit out of yourself with the slag and stuff. I lost my point somewhere in there. But anyway, when I started doing that, the unsafe part of it. Part of the cleaning is that you use a wire wheel. Well, when you're buying wire wheels, don't buy cheap wire wheels. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but wire wheels fall apart, and if they're cheap, they fall apart really fast. And I wish I'd have had it just on like my Dremel or just on my drill. I had it on an angle grinder. And it was like a cheap Harbor Freight wire wheel, and I was spinning, and I was like, oh man. And I thought it was just like little pieces of metal hitting me, which it was. And I get done, and my legs and my arms look like porcupine because all the wire wheels had flown off and shoved all over my skin. And I called my wife, I was like, hey, I need your help for a second. Can you get over here? And she started pulling them off like one at a time, and I mean my legs were bad, just coated, and it wasn't like they were stuck into my skin all the way in. They were just dug deep enough to break a few layers of skin and stick out. So she's pulling them all out, and it was all fun and games until she's like, "You ready for the alcohol? Yeah, go for it."
Oh,
Doused it in alcohol, and you could see like a slight pinkness to the liquid. I'm like, that wasn't so bad. And like the next couple days, anytime I'd scratch, I was like, ah, because they're basically baby scabs. So you're
Yeah.
scratching a little part of your leg, and you're just
oh,
pull. Oh, it was terrible.
sounds rough.
And the other time was when I was blacksmithing. I was actually trying to forge the high carbon steel onto those the first set of plane blades, and I kept cleaning it, flattening it, good to go, setting it on top. My fire was dirty. It was a piece of wooden stick. My fire was dirty, and I would get it up to the my little makeshift anvil, and I would smack it. And you can actually feel when it starts to stick because it goes from sounding like dunk, dunk, like two pieces of metal hitting to where it sounds like you're hitting a solid piece of metal. The sound is pretty distinct. And so I whacked it, and I was like, man, that's not me. And you're not even thinking about anything else, but like, why isn't this fucking sticking? So I went back, and I did it like 4 or 5 times, and it wasn't working. So I tried it again that same day. I tried again. I ground everything clean. Tried again. It wouldn't work, and didn't think anything of it. Talked to my wife for a little bit more, and she's like, hey, we had to go over here. So all right, cool. So I jumped in the shower. When I jumped in the shower, and the water hit my arms, I was like, ow. And when I got out of the shower, like, not that actually, yeah. Well, that day it burned, but I was like, oh, it's just hot stuff, hot water hitting your sunburn's gonna burn. So I was like, I'm fine. The next day, my arms were peppered with like little dark scabs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was just all the little marks of where it would hit, and I wasn't paying attention because I was concentrating on the on trying to weld it. That I didn't pay attention to it, and like my arms were just little dots everywhere on the fish belly part of my arm, on the top of my arm, of just a bunch of tiny little holes. And my shirt had holes in it when she watched it. I was like, oh, my bad.
Have you looked closely at Alex Steele's arms and Liam Hoffman's arms? Yeah, they're all scabbed up and shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's easy to do. Well, I sent you guys that one time. The angle grind needle grinder got my knuckle. You can see clear into the white part of what was supposed to be my knuckle. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
The thing that freaked me out is it wasn't bleeding. I was like, that's not normal, right, guys? That's supposed to bleed. But my finger's fine.
There's supposed to be blood in there.
Yeah, there wasn't any. And I only cried for like a little bit, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, getting back to new media, I think working with new media is very beneficial because you could learn to incorporate it into future projects or the technique of it or something. And I think there's some things that I've learned in the past and I was like, oh, I'm never going to do this again, or this technique. And then later on, I'm like, oh man, I could totally incorporate this and into this project. And it's really fun.
Are you guys working with any new media right now?
No, not currently. Well,
I am
sort
sort of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be painting your welding mask.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be a new experience for me.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's something I've always wanted to do for a long, long time, to do some kind of paint job on something that, not a car obviously, but it'll be that kind of paint job. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do that.
We are using wood dye on
Wood dye?
Yeah. It's like a stain basically, but you get it in a concentrate, and then you can thin it out depending on how
Light or dark you want?
Yeah, and so I like that aspect of it. And using it, obviously it's water based, so it's gonna raise the grain, so you have to be careful with that. But we're using it on a coin holder for the military coins.
Oh, okay.
And so that was fun to work with. I enjoyed it. So yeah, never hurts to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
I only asked you that to selfishly talk about what I'm doing right now. I actually tuned you out as soon as I asked the question.
Yeah.
So, no, my son wants a mask for Halloween that's very specific.
Oh yeah.
And
Sorry for the bag.
yeah, you should be. That's why we asked you to move it. But apparently, I was joking. I actually asked somebody that makes masks at Wilton Intentions on Instagram and Facebook, like, hey, I want to make it out of this, and this is what I want it to look like. And she gave me some really great ideas. And because I'm an asshole, she had told me a thickness of foam to buy. And what I heard was thicker's better. So I went and ordered these foam mats that were super thick. The problem is when you order those and you glue them together, your angle of cut has to be fucking accurate because if it's not, you have all these weird joints everywhere. And I got it in and I was like, I worked nights this week. So I had a night where I was going to be up and I had the available time. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I duct taped my son's head together so I can make a... No, it wasn't a part. I just duct tape all around it. Don't worry, guys. He lived. I put saran wrap
Just
on his
imagine patches of hair.
head. No, I put saran wrap over his the main part of his head.
You put a bag over your kid's head.
Basically, yeah. It's okay. He can breathe afterwards. He was only blue for a little while. But I put saran wrap on his head just to get like kind of a mold shape of most of his head because I didn't need it to be like his ears and everything's exact, but just something that when he put it on, it would kind of move with his face. And I took this foam and I measured everything out exactly like that we were supposed to fit, and I tried to cut the angles into the foam, but it was super thick. And when I went to glue it together, it was so thick that everywhere there was a joint, there was just incredible gaps. And I was like, I can fix those. And I was watching some of the videos. They're like, if you have pretty big gaps, the foam's not going to hold together as well. I was like, well, it looks like I wasted my time cutting up a bunch of foam for no reason. And then I went back to the messages, read what she said, and it said, this is the size thickness you want because it gives you enough to work with. And if you go to I was like, oh. So basically, I should have just listened to somebody instead of assuming that I knew what was going on. So yeah, I'm working with some foam now. And this weekend, I'm going to go get the foam that At Wilted Intentions actually told me to get. So hopefully I can put my son... He wants to be Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I realize how shitty that makes me sound as a parent.
No,
but
it doesn't.
yeah. I like music in my house. I like different kinds of music for different reasons. And I believe music, movies, games are art, personally. I think when you play a game and you beat it or you finish the game in a week, somebody spent months from the idea of the game to having an artist render up the characters. I think that's art. So when my son approached me about music, I remember when I went to church, somebody telling me this music is good, this music isn't good, this music is good. And I told him, listen, music's art. You can't cuss, but music is art. If you want to listen, and he got a buddy of mine gave him Rock Band, and Slipknot had a song that my son was Before I Forget, and it just stuck with my son. He was like, I want more music, and I think in a weird way, I think it's really awesome because at 7 years old, he was 7. Yeah, 7 years old. He's come to me before and said, Dad, I like this band. We only have this many songs. Can you order this album, or can you buy this album?
Be nice.
And I'm like, well, why don't you get a damn job and buy your own fucking album? No, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll order. I'll look up this album, buddy. And he's like, hey, Dad, I really like this band, but they say some bad words. And I was like, music's art, buddy. He's like, can you buy this Slipknot album? I was like, I have to explain that to your grandma, my mom, my wife. This is gonna be fun. But I think it was Wait and Bleed, or it was actually Before I Forget. There's another song he really liked. That then he told me I want to be Corey Taylor, so I was like, all right, let's make you a mask. People Equal Shit is one of them. I can't tell you the name of the song, Dad, but I like it. No, you can't tell me the name of that song, dude. But he really, I think he just really likes the sound of the loud, I can't remember the way it feels when he listens to it. And I was like, I don't know what problems you're having at 8 that you need to listen to Slipknot, but I don't mind him. So he wants to be Corey Taylor for Halloween.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna make him that mask, and hopefully it looks okay. The world's okayest Halloween mask.
I think it's cool that you're willing to try new media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm willing to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
I
No,
like
it's
that.
not. I'm very close by.
Well, I haven't really got to know your interests for all this time since we've been working together. Not
Really?
until... Well, like, really, how many years did it take before you and I sat down and talked about life?
I don't know. I know I didn't not like you when we. Well, no, because there's people that
You
start
had a
talking to me
great
and
smile.
you're just.
She's a nice person.
No, I don't mind talking to people about most things. Obviously, with my privacy of my family, that's my family. Like I've told people before, that's somebody else's story to tell. It's not my story. That's not anything I had anything to do with. But for the most part, with people I don't mind having conversations about stuff with. People at work I don't like, I'm not rude to, and I might finish a conversation with, but I'm not going to talk in depth with them about stuff. So I don't know. I know it's not that I didn't like it, we didn't get along. It's just.
I know definitely that you and I are on different schedules. That could have made a difference, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think energy-wise, you're on a different energy. I was on a different energy, and I don't know. It probably
Also,
took.
you're when I started working with you and way back when. I want to say about 7 or 8 years ago, I met your girlfriend at that time, and she was a fucking monster. You dated her. I mean, it sounds bad, but she was fucking mean.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't like her very much.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what she's all about. We're probably not going to get along. She's just a bad person.
She's not a nice person.
She's really not. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't need to talk to Rachel. And I remember that. Maybe that's not because before that, I know we talked. I don't think we didn't get along. I just like, oh, maybe that's why she's quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Because at the time, I didn't even know you were an artist. You talked about golf because one of the guys we work with always talked about you and golf.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know she golfed. Cool for her.
It's not that I was a private person. It's just.
Yeah. The stars didn't align.
No.
What's your sign? That's probably why. What's your sign? That's always a good reason.
What's your sign?
And then your business. It's private. I keep that to myself.
I know I didn't talk. You and I really didn't talk for a while.
Yeah, not really.
And now we all talk and we all have glasses.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I did the glasses thing first, but whatever.
Nerds.
Well, mine are cool as fuck. You guys look like nerds.
Okay.
All plastic framed.
Yours is too. We live in a plastic world. Come
We live
on.
in a plastic world.
They're recyclable.
Are they?
No, I'm probably
Never
not.
mind.
You care about the environment?
No.
Mine are cool as fuck, though.
Well, you know. I pick up my trash, but
I pick up my trash, too, but I think picking up the trash is more of a don't be a dick thing.
yeah.
I'm not going to separate it.
Yeah.
You look like a trash separator? What are we talking about?
New media.
Yeah,
Anyways,
media.
so
Media.
for a while, I didn't know a lot of your interests, but it seemed like these past.
You're like, this guy, amazing. Sex symbol.
No.
Amaze balls. Great personality. Awesome looks. Better be friends with him. Good call on your part.
I think. I know for me, I started to notice more of you trying new things like media, like in these past couple of years. So yeah.
Well, most of the stuff, one of the things my wife told me, I actually thought was really cool. She said, "You're not afraid to try new stuff," and I was like, "Well, let's not go crazy. Put the whip away." No, she was talking about how when I'm gonna work on something, I don't care what it is. I have a little bit of experience with electricity, a bit of experience with electronics, some minor taking shit apart and putting it back together experience. So when something's broken, I'll try to figure out how to fix it. I might not use it if I do fix it, but I want to know how it works.
Yeah.
And I think some of it's out of that. I mean, if you want to build stuff, how many people have you seen on videos from those inspirational things they do, like blah 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 was born in a third world country and needed a car, so he made a car out of wood and stuff he found in the garbage. Some of that stuff's born out of necessity. I mean, I think maybe that was some of it because we were pretty poor when I was very young, and some of the stuff was like you're not getting an opportunity to do it unless you do it with what you have available.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that came from that is I don't know what this is. How does it work? And I took it apart, put it back together. So when it comes to trying something new, I'm more like, oh, let's see what this is all about. Hashtag Dale and Jellybeans.
You're like a cat. Your mannerisms. You're like a cat.
But
I
yeah,
live with 2 cats. So.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it comes from that. Is that like with the mask thing? There was a ton of different ways I was trying to figure out how to make this mask, and I found a video online.
Every
about
other
it.
way except for what Cat told you.
Basically, literally that. Yes. No. I looked at a bunch of different avenues of doing this, and there were some that are like leather's the way to go. This is the way to go, and I was thinking leather would have been really good, but putting that mask together leather on my son's head is gonna make his head just sweat the entire time. So I was going through the different things, and I thought foam, because I can put more foam inside of it to keep it off his skull, to keep him cooler. And I talked to Kat about it, and she said, well, if you're going to do that, try this, check this out. And she said a bunch of great information. What she didn't say was if you do the opposite of what I'm telling you to do, you're going to be pissed off, and you're going to be cussing at your house at 1 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, disclaimer when you get information from people. But no.
How are you going to know if you don't try?
Well, exactly. But I could have just ordered gotten what she told me to grab, and I'd be a little bit less pissed off at this point. But yeah, it's just like, why not? Obviously, you're not going to try blacksmith if you're going to go spend $8,000 on the equipment to do something. But
I know people that do that though. But
that's good for them.
yeah, if you got the money,
Yeah.
knock yourself out.
Because right now, if you had millions of dollars, you're like, you know what? I'm really tired of hammering this. Why don't I just go buy a power hammer?
Why don't I just hire a blacksmith if I got that much million
Yes, I thought
dollars?
about that.
blade.
I thought about that. I don't know that I would do that if I had the money. There's stuff I don't want to do, and that includes yard work. That's about where it would stop. Like, I can come clean your house. I can clean my house too. Like, I've been doing it since it's one of my skills. I've been doing it since I was young. I'm good to go.
I think if I was to hire somebody to be a personal chef,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
How much are you
I
paying?
like cooking.
I don't know, just enough to cook food for me every day
I can cook.
He'll cook. He's really good cook.
when I get the money.
Okay.
No.
So maybe
Go
never.
ahead and keep your job for a while.
Yeah.
Don't drop that 2 weeks just yet.
Damn it!
But yeah, I think that's. I'm just thinking of stuff I would pay people to do, and I can't think because I want I want to build my own cabinets.
The reason why I would get a personal chef because sometimes I feel that cooking food and eating gets in the way of doing things. So it's just like
Sustaining life is just
gotta-
one of those things that I find annoying.
and I don't want to have a heart attack or get diabetes or whatever.
So I just wear a feed bag and a diaper.
There was it was actually funny. Penn Jillette has a podcast, Sunday School, and he was talking about making people chow. You know they have dog chow? It's just dog chow. It's, you need to eat food.
Soylent
It's got all the
Green.
nutrients you need. He's like, they should make people chow. Just a bag of nutrients / taste good. That if you're on the run, you can just dip your hand in, throw it down your gullet, and keep going.
I agree with
It's
that.
like I would eat so much people chow.
Me too.
And I think he actually got a company to joke around about that for a second to make it.
I don't know. I just smelled like. Is it raining outside?
no.
Or did one of the
We're
cats
all
fart?
with you.
Did the cat fart?
Why does
Maybe.
your cat fart smell like rain?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what that smells. There was like a weird smell that just came in the room.
There you go.
You just smell it?
No. I usually have a really good sense of smell.
Sometimes ghosts smell like cat fart. Or rain.
Oh, it has like an ammonia smell, like cat piss. Is that you? Did you wet the bed?
Now I smell fart.
Dale's currently talking to his cat.
Maybe it was the jelly bean
now
I
I
ate.
smell it.
I think it was a jelly bean.
You smell it?
Now I do.
It's
like a
it's-
slight faint ammonia, just a sting of the ammonia with the fart
Yeah.
smell.
That was a fart. Somebody's fart.
That had to be. It wasn't me.
It smells slightly poopish.
Check your
Yeah,
shoes.
Check your
Did you?
Did you wipe?
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna talk to the cat. I'm gonna solve this.
This is.
What you doing down
We need a video podcast.
We really need a video podcast.
Either I just ate a jelly bean that tastes like cat piss.
A shit flavored
Well.
jelly bean? That's possible.
Yeah, all the new flavors they have.
They could
My
have put in
breath,
some
my
of
breath
that.
kind of smells that way.
Either it was a jelly bean or you eating cat
Did
fart
you have
piss.
a mixture?
I was eating one at a time, as it suggests on the bag.
Oh, well, that's boring.
Do you guys smell it?
Not
I did for a
anymore.
second. I don't smell it now.
Not anymore. Maybe it was crushed.
Made the jelly bean. That's fucking nuts. It smelled like.
Like what?
And in
Cat pee.
case
It
the
smelled like
listeners
cat
are
pee.
wondering, it's on the Instagram, the picture. They didn't fuck around and get like an adult wood size of jelly beans. They got the fucking 2-pound
Party
bag.
size. We got the party size.
They got the Rachel and Dale size bag. Nobody's eating at this party but them two.
No, we don't fuck around. Okay?
Yeah, it was all or nothing. That bag has no chance right now.
It's your jelly bean.
I think it's
is
your jelly
crazy.
bean. That's gross.
Do not eat the cat piss jelly bean.
Cat fish, cat fart jelly bean.
Which one would that be?
Um,
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna figure this
Yeah.
out.
Sorry, dear listeners.
what's our next topic?
Dale. Yeah, let's go to the next topic because Dale's just derailing this train at every fucking turn. All right, our next topic is musicians gestured. This topic was picked by Rachel. Rachel, elaborate.
So I noticed that when I watch musicians,
How many beer have you had?
2, but I don't.
So many
feel,
beer.
But I don't feel it. But anyways,
You don't feel it, then why are your pants off? This is weird for all of us.
so I find. Oh my god. I find it fascinating to
Hashtag
watch
2 beer Rachel.
to watch musicians on stage or performing because I know from Dale hearing him talk about it, they do it for show, but then there's other people that actually get into the song and they do all these different kind of gestures, like classical artists, like the pianist or the violinist, so they really get into it, and I'm thinking like, man, you're really exposing yourself to people. And to me that's just elaborates more of their passion, because I could feel the passion in the song, but then to watch them actually performing live, it's like, holy cow, they don't care what they look like, they're just performing because they enjoy it. So I think that's cool. But then I wonder if somebody put a video camera on me, like what kind of awkward gestures and stuff that I
While
would
you're
make.
making,
Yeah,
yeah.
while I'm in the moment. So, but yeah. But what was your point on your viewpoint on that?
Well,
Did you figure out the jelly bean thing?
I'm gonna have to eat all the jelly beans to find out which one tastes like cat piss. So, I think I found it.
Which one?
Well, while Dale's still looking, one of the points I want to make is when we were talking about this, we were talking about the way people strut on stage and how it's pretty influenced. Dale will get into it more, but how it's influenced by some of the older artists. And I thought about that now that Rachel brought it up again. And it was, well, actually, I brought it up. I'm the one that read the topic, but
Plunger.
I thought about my son listening to music videos. And he, there's
Listening or watching?
both. Sometimes he just has the Apple TV on and it's just playing in the background while he's playing. But the drummer for Jason Aldean's band does this thing where he opens his mouth. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but he opens his mouth slightly like he can feel the music. And I noticed that when my son, like right now, it wasn't until I thought about it this time that I thought my son mimics their gestures when he's playing the instruments that the respective artists are playing. So, or the artists are playing respectively, I should say. So if it's a drummer, he'll mimic the drummer he likes. If it's a singer, he'll mimic the singer he likes. And he does that for I can't help saying it that way. Sorry. He does that for pretty much any genre of music. So oddly, my son was playing "Eye of the Tiger."
Like a broken record, you have to kind of move it.
So he was singing. What song was it? It was
It was the
Eye of the
grapefruit
Tiger.
one.
It was a grapefruit
It
one?
was the grapefruit one. That's the one that tastes like
Grapefruit. Cat piss. But he was singing Eye of the Tiger, but he was very much still doing it in the style of Corey Taylor, which is really funny to watch.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he saw like the Eye of the Tiger video, he's like, I'm not dancing like this fucking 80s. I'm not jamming out like this 80s cat. But I've noticed after you said that, we talked about it briefly before the podcast, but after you had said that, I did realize that my son kind of does that, but that's his example of what a lead singer is.
Yeah.
His example of what a drummer is.
But we do tend to mimic people that we look up to when we're younger. I know, because I was doing that with golf. I would mimic the golfers I looked up to. I would mimic their swing.
That kind of makes sense though, because that's a technique. That's something that.
Well, with music, I could see it being the same because this is how they get into the music.
Yeah, I understand, but it. Like I said,
You're like, I still don't give a fuck.
I never hung out with any famous bands, but I hung out with a lot of local bands, and I've seen the way they all tried to put on their "I'm gonna be famous someday" air. And I've seen so many bands do the Mick Jagger chicken strut and the Steven Tyler wide leg stance mic grab and the Angus Young backwards whatever. Like, there's so many people that I don't know if they're on stage trying to pretend they're as cool as the person they want to be, or if they're nervous to be on stage, so they just do the first thing that comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. As far as stage presence and stuff, I think it's
kind of a show.
There hasn't been.
It's a performance.
Yeah, well, it's. I've seen.
I know big words.
Too many bands copying other bands on stage instead of becoming their own icons. I guess like the band Zayo. I absolutely love the band Zayo. They're one of my absolute favorite metal bands. But I have noticed that their lead singer very much so copies the stance and the way he holds the microphone is very much like Glenn Danzig from the Misfits. So, but I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not on stage, so I can't talk shit, you know. But
listen, Neil, I've karaoke'd before, so having been on the stage, I can tell you.
yeah. So basically, I'm just saying cynical things and not actually saying anything.
Well, no, I kind of see what you're saying in that. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the conversations we had that I was telling Dale. There's some metal. I don't mind the music, but the performance or the kind of character of the people is a performance even off stage.
You know who can't copy a musician? Like Yanni. Nobody can do the long hair with the fan blowing at them and playing the...
That's because he went as far as anybody would never want to go.
Well, I dare you to mimic Joe Cocker. Have you ever seen the videos of Joe Cocker when he was like in the at Woodstock?
I think so.
Yeah, that guy was bananas.
Ooh, I've seen a lot of people that play piano on stage copy Elton John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Elton John's a badass though,
Yeah,
so I mean, it's kind of hard not to copy that guy.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just...
You guys want to cut off this podcast and go karaoke some Elton John?
Let's do it. Let's go. Bye.
Let's go. Bye. Just joking.
Well,
We're
what
still
about
here.
that one video that you showed me with the guy playing the didgeridoo and the was it a guitar? he
Yeah.
was playing? And his movements or gestures on stage, it seemed pretty original to him.
Yeah, I mean, well, because his...
Well, how many people play the didgeridoo and the guitar at the same time?
Yeah.
It's not a wide market of people that he had to copy from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I appreciate that. Because him, what was his name? Something Mitchell.
I have no
Connor
clue.
Mitchell or
Something like that,
Colin,
yeah.
something. But he was so into the music that he made, that he was writing, that it basically, I don't know if it sounds weird to say, but it manifested his own stage presence. And I think
See,
that
stuff like
so many
that.
bands
Yeah.
now are just, they're up there because they want to be famous. They want to go on tour and they want to have big record deals, and they don't, I think with the dances and stuff they do on stage that copies other ones, that kind of, to me, it looks like they don't actually care about the music, they just want to be famous.
Yeah.
So they're trying to invoke the the gestures of other musicians.
Speaking of, what do you think about Tina Turner back in her heyday? Like, her dances were very unique to her.
I couldn't tell you what Tina Turner did.
Oh, do you know?
I know who she is, but
like the way she danced on
Like
stage,
very-
that was very specific to
Yeah,
her.
very.
Athletic and in your face.
But it was also very. I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say like in a jerking way, but you know what I mean. Like
It was
she
aggressive.
was very, yeah, like. Well, when you said that, I immediately thought of James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of people that try to do James Brown. And it's fucking James Brown, dude. Chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing you won't be, and that's fucking James Brown, because James Brown's a badass.
Jimi Hendrix. Have you watched videos of him playing?
You know,
His
I've
gestures.
seen a lot of people mimic his guitar playing gestures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because when Jimi Hendrix was playing the guitar, especially when you watch like Woodstock and stuff like that, he was fucking that guitar.
Oh yeah.
Like he was fucking that guitar.
Yeah.
And you watch people do it now, I'm like, well, I don't know. It kind of seems like you're really trying to do that. And he was like, You guys aren't seeing my air guitar play. I guess that sounds really gross without the air guitar visual. But there's an air guitar situation happening that kind of mimics, that goes with the sound.
I liked watching Janis Joplin sing back in the day, because she was just very passionate.
Seemed
about
like she didn't
everything that she did on stage.
Yeah.
She was singing like she was in a room by herself.
Yeah.
And you got to watch her do that.
Yeah.
Every fucking time she performed.
See, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love it when they're just passionate about the moment, because it's just like I can just feel it, and I'm like, oh, that feels so good. I'm like, keep doing it.
Get it. Sometimes I feel that way with the band I mentioned the last two podcasts ago, Alabama Shakes. When you're watching the video,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
like some of those videos, like I've seen it. There was one. Which one was it? The Sugarland Stay. You ever seen that video? She starts crying halfway through the song. It's a really emotional part of the song. She's not just crying for the purpose, like she might be, I don't know, but it seems like she's not just crying for the purpose of I'm making this song. It's a sad part. Like she's feeling what's happening in the tone of in that moment of the song.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. I think a person like Adele, like she doesn't necessarily move around, like she doesn't. She just stands there. She might do some hand movements with their arms, whatever, but you could, without the dramatic gestures that you see from a lot of musicians nowadays, like you can feel the passion in her voice. You can hear the passion in her voice. And I think,
like you just want to scream, "Get it, girl!"
yeah, I could like sit in a chair just in front of me, like just mesmerized by the passion in her singing, in her voice.
You can keep talking.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of artists that I really like. Sorry.
I was gonna say Florence and the Machine, Florence or whatever her name is. She does the same thing like Adele most of the time. She just stands there. No, she moves around, but the passion in her voice is just amazing. So, yeah.
I feel that way about Uncle Lucius when I'm listening to the music. Like they're not just playing the music, they're
Yeah.
You know what? This topic kind of circles back around now that we've kind of reached a idea of the musicians on stage. Kind of circles back around to, is art honest?
Yeah, it does. It really, yeah. Yeah. I think the artists or the musicians that you can look at them and say, yeah, they're passionate about their music, unlike the cookie cutter type musicians.
Well, I mean, but is it though? Because think about a song that Adele's singing. She's performed that song 250 times now, and she's doing it on stage in London again.
Well,
That's kind of what I'm saying is that I don't think it's dishonest. I think the song came from a genuine place. Mm-hmm. But if she's not in that place anymore, and she's just,
I think she's being honest about her passion for singing.
I'll agree with that. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry.
No, I was gonna say, like, I know there were some songs that were written what she was going through, but she doesn't. She's not going through the same situations anymore. But she's still passionate about singing. It's still gonna come across. That passion's still gonna come across.
Yeah.
Deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I dig it.
What's the next one?
Okay.
Oh, I had a thought and it left me. The next one is how to pick your creative outlet is what was texted to me.
Meaning.
You all right?
You got the beer burps.
I had a burp.
You need the Heimlich?
No. You don't have to take off my pants to do the Heimlich.
Even Moose is looking at you. What the fuck?
You gotta post that picture on the
Oh.
Instagrams.
Is she
I think the
fun?
person was asking, how do you pick your creative outlet? Is that what it says? Yeah, how do you pick your creative outlet?
I don't
Riddle me that,
know.
Batman.
I don't know, honestly.
Hey, we posted a picture, and HSP Woodworks, Rachel Brumfield, Coach Stu, The Life of Agent, and Deeply Dapper liked it.
Who's Coach Stu?
Not a clue. A basketball coach
Oh,
on iTunes.
cool.
Wow.
So, word. But yeah, sorry. I think it's how to pick your creative outlet.
Mm-hmm.
We got this cat that we're going to post on Instagram, seducing the fuck out of this camera right now. Or just tired of shit and listening to us do a podcast.
She's like, I swear it's bedtime.
So how do you pick your creative outlet, Dale?
I don't know. I don't even know if... I don't know if I do pick it.
Or does it pick you?
Oh, God.
I was going to say that.
I know, that's why I
No.
said it in douchey artist
No,
voice.
I don't...
Yeah, I have douchey artist voice. That's how I do the, which one's the other one I did? Oh, it was the glue one, when I did the funny glue voice.
Oh,
That's all. That's
yeah.
always
Oh.
douchey artist voice.
No, I don't know. Like...
I don't think you're wrong. I agree with you.
I think it kind of just draws... Like, whatever it is, you're kind of drawn towards it, however your creativity needs to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's abstract painting, then you can just go sit in a corner and die. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think it... guess all depends on what you want to create.
Uh-huh.
How do you spell Mussolini?
Just Moose. M-O-O-S-E. There you go. But it... Because, I mean... There's some things, like some images that just pop in my head that I immediately feel drawn to paint it and not sculpt it.
Yeah.
And same with drawing. Like, there's a lot of things that I've really wanted to draw that's never gone any farther than drawing. It's never turned into a painting or a sculpture. So I think, well, for me personally, my creative outlet is just kind of on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's based on the skills you have, though?
Probably. I mean, I don't think I consciously pick it. I think I subconsciously know how I can get it out.
Because
Not to be like all like spacey or anything about it.
well, no, I've been a douchey guy that's like, you should draw this, because in my head it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a dude, Bill. I don't know his last name, which is probably a good thing. But I've asked him to draw stuff, and he goes, "You can't just ask somebody to draw that." And I was like, yeah, I can. I just did. But he was saying, like, when you have an idea in your head and you say, I'd like to see this drawn, you have an idea, but you don't realize there's a vast, insane amount of styles to draw what you're asking for in.
Yeah.
There's an insane amount of tones that it'll have with it.
Yeah.
So when you say, can you draw me this, you have to say, can you draw this in this style?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sounds hard. I
Yeah.
don't care for that. But that was one of the things that I remember him saying to a couple people, because he also used to draw he would ask, he's a really good artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But people would ask him to draw stuff. I want this tattoo. That's a difficult question to ask. Like, it was like, I want a geisha. I remember this specific conversation. I want a geisha holding an assault rifle. He said, well, what style of geisha do you want? Just like a geisha. Well, there's traditional Japanese style.
Yeah.
There's current Japanese. There's this. There's the anime. There's this. And he went over all this list of stuff. And it was like 30 or 40 by the time he was done. And I was like, the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it just depends on what style you want. It's not as easy as saying... Because you're picturing something in your head. And when you say that thing to me, I picture something else.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I've had people ask me, and I'm like, okay, so what do you want it to look like in the end? Because I could do this different ways. So what style do you want? Or what font do you want? Or whatever. And it's like, oh, didn't think of that. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I can't read your brain or see what you're seeing. So you gotta let me know what you're seeing of what the style that you want. And not everything looks good in a painting. Not everything looks good in drawing. Because there's things that I was like, oh man, that I've taken a picture of, and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to look as a painting. But then I'm like, but why? Because the photograph looks good as it is. So why try to? I don't think it would translate very well into a painting or what's the word? Is that the word translate? Yeah, translate very well into a painting. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I've run into those things where I've tried to make it look like a painting. I've done it. I'm like, that doesn't look good as a painting. Mm-hmm. It looks good just as it is with this or whatever. And even if I haven't worked with the media before, I'll try to research it and figure out how to do it so I can turn it into metal art or whatever. And but it's not going to stop me from trying to turn it into what I want it to.
So with that thought process that you're currently on, with the train you're currently on, picking a creative outlet. How do you think that would apply? Because I was thinking of the same thing in my head. Like, what are you trying to do? Mm-hmm. Well, I want because there's a ton of different things to do. I mean, there's people that make jewelry. There's people that make stained glass. There's people that make what are those things? What were they use rocks?
Huh?
It'll come to me.
Rock stacking.
Rock balancing rocks.
Yeah, rock balancing.
No, but what? There's a ton of different ways to express yourself. Mm-hmm. Obviously, abstract painting's one of them, but we all know how Joe feels about that. But I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, is it? I guess my question to the person that asked the question is, are you asking how you can be creative, or are you asking, I am creative, I want this? Because like I was telling you guys a couple episodes ago, we have some in the bank. There's people that are really good at decorating.
Yeah. And
when they decorate a room, it's awesome, and you need creativity to do that. You can't just like, this is couch and TV and bed.
For the longest time, I had like in my living room, I had my TV on a nightstand and a couch. That was it. I am not an interior decorator. As much as I'd like to be, I think it'd be so cool to be able to bring a room together. I cannot do it. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has their limitations.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, oh, but you're an artist, you can do it. I'm like, so? That doesn't mean, like, me and interior decorating, like, I'm starting to get more and more comfortable with it, but I'm not going to go on HGTV and tell people how to do their shit.
You should. I've seen some of the shit they do, not impressed.
Yeah. But there are people that just have that eye for filling a space. And that's awesome, but not everybody has an eye for sculpting. But not to say that they couldn't do it and be good at it, but to actually, I don't know. I consider myself more like a jack of all trades. So I'm not really...
I've heard your singing. Don't continue.
Minus that. And
that was a long story. It's an inside joke. I'll tell you guys later.
Dancing, or if you get enough drinks with me, I'll dance. But
get it.
I don't know if there's enough drinks in this world to get me to dance.
Oh, there is.
Is there?
I've seen you do it.
Really?
Yep, I've seen you do it. Too many Jaeger bombs and way, way too many Imperial Stouts. And 2 shots of Jameson.
That lasted about 45 seconds just
I
to
didn't
get someone
say
to shut up.
I didn't say you didn't do. I didn't say you. I'm just saying you did.
No, I mean for me to actually get into it and enjoy it, doesn't exist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
I don't enjoy dancing. That doesn't make any sense to me.
7 drink tubs will dance his ass off.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Of course, 5 drink tubs will sing his ass off.
Yeah. That's completely off topic, but yeah. I don't understand dancing. It doesn't make sense to me.
See,
I don't
and
even-
I love to watch
fun.
people dance. I think it's amazing that some people can just move their bodies in certain ways, and I'm like, oh my god, that's beautiful.
My body moves the same way. I just do it to the rhythm.
To me, I look at them like they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm
Yeah,
glad
no.
people are enjoying themselves. I want people to be happy, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, try to understand it personally for myself. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Sorry,
So-
I didn't
so
mean to bring the
anyway.
room down.
Well, no, I was actually thinking about that because even on that, dance is pretty creative.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing's a medium.
Yeah.
So, I
One of
mean,
my favorite dancers ever, Gene Kelly.
based on the
That's
look
cool.
you gave me, I don't know if that's a joke or a serious thing.
No, Gene Kelly from, gosh, when was it? 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
And Singing in the Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy's dancing is, that's an art.
Yeah.
It's an art form.
Legend
Yeah,
Dairy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess do what makes you happy, and eventually that will lead to your creative medium,
Yeah.
your creative outlet, and you will fail at some stuff. I don't like. That's one of the things I don't understand. Is I think as an art, like there was a post that said the master is failed more time than the apprentice has tried, and I think that has a lot to do with you're gonna suck at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to suck at stuff. Dale was not the greatest sculptor that this planet Earth has ever provided.
And probably never will be.
Well, you don't know that,
Oh,
but you're gonna keep fucking your way up to success. I mean, that's one of the things that like no, I think so.
No,
Like,
you said fucking your way up to success.
if you can fuck your way up to being the best sculptor, you rail whoever you have to, Dale. Don't let anybody hold you back from that. No, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. I've been told before I'm a perfectionist. I don't think I'm a perfectionist in the fucking slightest. But I like to make sure something's as best as I can make it at that particular stage in what I'm doing. Like if you look at the very first thing I ever refinished, which is a dresser that's still in somebody's house right now, I look at it and go, I could have done all these things. And I look at the last thing I did, and it could look way better than I made it look. But at my skill level, this is where I'm at, and that's times oversanding stuff, undersanding stuff, not understanding. I could have used a better finish on it. I could have picked a better color for it. There's a lot of those little things that you learn just by messing up. And I don't think anybody's going to tell you you're going to... And there are probably great geniuses that have touched something and have been like, this is my medium. And the first time they pick up a paintbrush, they paint the perfect replica of the Mona Lisa. But there's also the cat that's the person we were talking about the last podcast. She said, "Well, I do these paint by numbers, and I don't, I'm not comfortable with it. I feel like I'm what was the term?
Modifier.
A modifier. Well, you may be a modifier right now. When you learn how to shade, draw a circle, and you learn how to shade a perfect sphere, you'll go from doing something like that to, well, I want to draw a dog, or I want to draw a wall, or the inside of my house, or my living room, or this, and everybody starts somewhere. I mean, like, I don't know that much about woodworking. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I watch, or even on Instagram, stuff like that, that's inspirational of, like, period craftsman, Freddie Roman. When you watch him do something, there's 1,000 things I've seen him do. For those 1,000, there's probably 4 or 5 or 6 that I'll look at and go, I need to learn more about that, because that looks something I should be doing. You do a little bit of research and you find out, well, this is how you do that. Yeah, I need to get on that. That matters to you, so you'll start to do it that way. And you'll suck at it the first few times you do it. Welding, you're going to be a shitty fucking welder, Rachel. Until you start welding, you're not going to get any better at it. That's not me judging you. That's something a welder told me one day. He said, nobody's going to teach you how to weld. They're going to show you how they weld, and then how the metal actually works. How the metal works is an important part of it. But besides that, nobody's going to teach you how to weld. You're going to learn how to weld.
Yeah, when I was learning how to weld in college, like the guy had his own technique of doing it, and I would try that technique, and for some reason it just wasn't working for me. So he's like, well, we'll try it this way. And I tried it that way, and that still wasn't quite working for me. So he's like, you know what, just do it. So I figured out my own way of doing it, and it worked. And I was welding shit, and
that's I think that's everything.
mm-hmm.
look for a creative outlet. If you decide that you like the way a flag looks, try to make a flag. And if you suck at making a flag, don't make a flag. If it matters to you enough, you'll try until you get it. People that quilt. I mean, how many people quilt?
Oh my God.
Not quilt. What's it called? Knit.
Yeah.
Knitting's fucking hard.
Yeah.
My mom crochets. I sat down with her to try to learn a simple crochet loop thing. I fucking suck at it. Mom sits there and watches TV and crochets full blankets. I couldn't get like a 6-inch strand of anything to hold together.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, yeah, you don't give a shit about it. Why would you learn how to do it? Well, because you do it, and I want to know if I can do something. Like, I know how to sew. My sewing sucked for the longest time, but I know how to sew because I watched Mom do it, and I was like, I should learn how to do this. So I sat there and practiced until I could sew a decent hem.
I think society isn't taught how to not get things right off the bat. Like, to get it perfectly done.
Yeah.
Because that's where society, I see, like, people's, when they, especially when they try art, they're like, well, I'm afraid to try it because I want it to look good the first time I do it. And I'm like, well, it's not going to. You know, if you're trying something new, it may not look exactly what you want, but through practice, you'll get to that point. But I think that's what I noticed specifically about art. That's a hang-up when it comes to people trying it, because they think they have these high expectations.
I could speak to that first fucking person. I love guitars. I really like music. I don't play the guitar because I didn't pick it up and then immediately know how to play Hotel California.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, well, guitars are stupid. Who learns these things? And now, slowly learning, I think in the last 5 years, I've learned how to play 2 songs. And I say 2, but one I have to keep remembering how to play it, and one I just know because I constantly play it. But if I cared more about it, or if it was a creative outlet for me that was something that really super mattered to me, I would do it a lot better by now.
Mm-hmm.
I've had access to a guitar since I was probably around 17. I don't know how to play the guitar because I don't want to learn. If you want to learn something, you'll learn. In my opinion, at least. If you want to learn something, you'll learn it.
Yeah.
Because it matters enough to you to learn it. The guitar, I would love to learn, but I don't apply myself to it enough to just sit down and keep practicing it.
Mm-hmm.
I play it probably 7 or 8 times a year, and I expect to, like, I don't know this song. This song's stupid, and you're stupid for wanting me to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like when speaking to people that don't. I'm not great at this immediately. I should already be good at this. Well, no, you shouldn't. You've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
I think I not to get into a big deep conversation about it, but I was talking about my nieces and nephews. I tell that too. Like, you be yourself, because some of you are going to be shitty people. That's an option. We've all worked with and lived around shitty people. What nobody tells you is when you're a shitty person, people will treat you like you're a shitty person.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that society really doesn't tell us, is that you're going to be great at you can do whatever you want. No, you can't. You really can't. You get angry too fast. Don't fly a jet. Don't fly a jet, because you're probably going to shoot somebody out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if jets shoot people. That's how jets work.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they just shoot people. That's all they do. But no, there's stuff that you're not going to be able to do, and that's fine. And if you care enough about that, you're going to be able to do it based solely off of obsession. I can do this, and I want to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say fail your way to the top. A couple of the really cool people I follow. Crap, I can't remember his name right now. I'm following Walter Sorrells on YouTube. He's talking about blacksmithing. He says, go find some cheap metal. Find a way to heat it and start banging on it. And that's how you're going to learn how to forge. You're going to suck at it at first. You're going to suck at it after a while. And at some point you're going to find out that you can make a shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to learn you can make a knife. And then I can make a hook, a this, a that. And that's how you build up to being able to do something with blacksmithing.
I think to bring YouTube into this, I think there are certain channels out there to where if somebody is new to a media and they watch somebody who's been doing it for years and they watch a person paint or sculpt or whatever, something that it was pretty much done in one take, and everybody's like, well that's what needs to be done. Well, what you didn't see is all the previous videos or
The 8 hours he spent doing that.
or the 8 hours, or the previous videos, or the previous sculptures where they fucked up on. But they're not going to show you that. But there are certain channels out there where they are completely honest, and they're like, well, I just fucked this up. Let's get another piece of wood or whatever. But Alex Steele, he's a great example of like, well, I just fucked this up. You know, he doesn't say it like that.
That isn't going to work.
Yeah. And I think if there are more channels like that, I think people would be more open to trying new media.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also a thing. And I think but what I was saying before is, if you suck at something and it matters enough to you, you're going to keep trying. You know what I mean? Like, if really?
I gave up on glassblowing.
What did it matter to you?
It did at the time.
Did it?
Yeah,
Why
in
aren't
the
you
beginning
making
I was like, oh my god,
a
glassblowing,
badass
this is the
right
most
now?
amazing thing. And then I found out that I sucked at it, and I made awesome paperweights, and I left it at that.
Well, how awesome were you at woodworking the first time you tried it?
Oh, it wasn't very awesome. But yeah, I kept going with it. But
Exactly, because it mattered. That's what I'm saying, is if it matters to you, you're going to keep trying.
yeah. Yeah, and the same with the golf. It did matter to me, but then after a while, it just stopped mattering to me. And, yeah, I kind of just stopped.
Well, before we get done with the show,
Is it?
yep, that's exactly what you think it is. Before we missed a couple of them on the last episode, and I really like these segments. So, you guys want me to pick them? There's 5.
Yes.
Pick a number 1 through 5.
3.
All right.
3.
Favorites, music you're listening to, movies or shows you've watched or are watching, and or tools and techniques.
That's one?
No, just one. Just pick a favorite.
Oh.
Should I break those up into different ones? What's favorite tool you've used recently?
My favorite tool recently, hand plane. I used that
Hashtag hand
recently.
plane.
That was nice. Like the shavings. The sound of a clean shave.
What does that sound like?
No, it doesn't sound like that.
It sounds like a cat? That's cool. If your shavings don't sound like a cat, you're doing it wrong. I just thought of cat and shaving and funny things I can say in respect to that. But Dale?
I know Danzig.
I'm really tired of these assholes in my house. So if you can... Dale's cat's currently absorbing his lap and staring at Dale like we shouldn't be here anymore.
We should be in bed.
All right, you know what? Let's go to another one. Oh, you know what? 2 minutes. Stuff Rachel hates.
Oh no, I got nothing right now. The speakerphone was
And
it.
start.
Oh shit.
Is there anything you hate, Rachel?
Oh god, dang it. I hate when people hawk loogies.
Really?
That's gross.
Hot loogies.
It's an automatic gag.
I know, because I've done it around you just to make you gags to make me laugh.
Oh, so gross. Oh,
Yeah, that sound.
ugh.
Got to get it from in your soul.
No.
Pull that back.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Is it every part of the sound you don't like, or just the initial, like,
Every part.
trying to get the boogers together in the back of your throat to get them spit out?
Every part of it. I don't like it. It's gross. Because I have a really good imagination. So when I hear noise, this particular noise, well, actually, when I hear a lot of noises, my brain automatically imagines what's going on. So when people make that noise,
We all have mucus, Rachel.
I know, but it's so gross. I can't do it. Just talking about it, just yes.
Well, this is a good one. You have 45 seconds.
No.
Anything else you want to add?
No. Good.
Just loogie hawking good times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh. Stop.
I was just sniffing. That wasn't even a. That wasn't a thing. We like to make Rachel cringe. What else makes you cringe? Deep in thought.
Oh,
20
when you
seconds.
get your nail snagged on like yarn, for some reason that makes me cringe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the feeling of it.
Can
I
you
don't know what
taste?
it
Can you feel yarn in your mouth when you see that?
is. No,
For some reason, I can. I don't know why.
I just hear it. It's
Like,
weird.
This is not Dale hates, but I know one thing Dale hates is, and that was 2 minutes. One thing Dale hates is the metal clinking sound.
Oh, when people eat with a metal
Oh,
fork and
yes.
they go
I'm eating
on their teeth. Ooh, I can taste metal and
I can't
ooh,
stand that.
like just thinking about it. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when Dale's mean to me and we're eating together, I will do that just to piss him off repeatedly, and it does piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, we should have made a cringe one.
Mm.
What makes you cringe?
No.
I don't know that stuff makes me cringe too bad. But yeah, sorry we tapered down, but the sugar high really hit us hard.
Now sugar crash.
Sugar crash. But yeah, I think we covered the 3 topics we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We veered quite a bit off topic a few times. We made it back, and that's all that matters.
Yes, we did. That's good.
Wrapping it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you.
Well,
To
I
12
am
listeners.
Tubbs, dear listeners, and do shit that makes you happy. Signing
Oh,
out. Tubbs signing out.
Flat Earth.
Do shit that makes you happy. We're ignoring Rachel. This is no longer. Rachel will be kicked off this podcast, and I apologize you guys had to listen to that. Dale?
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
We're all kind of looking at Dale because he's the one that has to hit stop. So,
Cool.
awkward for us.
Well, see you
Staring
guys.
at Dale, looking at his phone, talking through the spit guard of
Say bye,
microphone.
Danzig.
Why are you guys still listening?
Yeah, let it go.